Buenos días, tardes, o noches, clase de español 3. Hopefully everything's going well for you. And we're going to speak a little bit about this week's vocab and grammar. So welcome to our screencast for the first part of Chapter 5. Relatively, I don't want to say easy, but light on the grammar side this week. So I hope that you guys enjoy the non-difficult version of the grammar for this week. And for the vocabulary that we're going to be discussing in a moment, there's a good amount of it, but a lot of it has cognates or things that are the same in both languages. So I will express a few of those with you, talk about a few connections here and there, but mostly when we go over vocab, it's just going to be pronunciation. All of the definitions, we're going to do those in class. So I won't be going over all the definitions with you right now, but if you want, you can always if you want to get ahead and print this out with the email that was sent, and you want to write down all the definitions in advance, that's perfectly fine. They're on page 155 of your textbook as well. Before we get started for this evening, I know we have one special viewer this afternoon, evening, morning, whenever you guys are watching it. But first of all, I'd like to just go ahead and say hi to Mom. So Margaret Moore is actually watching this evening. So you're on the screencast of Spanish 3. She was the person who gave me this lovely drink to refresh me in the process. This is actually a connection to the culture component as well, because this is the Coke that they sell in Mexico, which does not use high fructose corn syrup, but rather azúcar or sugar. So just kind of a fun little side note there for you. Anyways, hi Mom. Let's go ahead and get started, all right? Beginning with expressing qualified agreement and disagreement is the title for everything. But in terms of what we're actually going to work on this week, it's going to be what they call the impersonal se. And the impersonal se is just a way of talking about generalities. Like if you were, a lot of times when giving rules, like you're saying, it's like if you want to say you're not allowed to enter here or something like that, or if someone were to post a sign saying it is prohibited to enter this area, they'll say se prohíbe, okay, or no se entra, or something along those lines. They'll put the se in there, and it takes the place of either you guys or they, and it's just sort of a quick, easy way to give generalities. Now, I know that you guys can't read this whole thing because my face is in the way. Sorry about that. It's one of our problems, I suppose. But anyways, in a sentence about what people in general do, the word se can replace the subjects like uno, like one, or la gente, which is the people, or ellos, which is they, etc. The verb will usually be translated as a third person singular when that happens, okay? Like the he, she, it form of it, if you will. Anyways, just a few examples real quick. And we're going to do a lot of these examples in class, of course. So this is just to have a few examples in a written format. Aquí uno trabaja mucho. So here it says one works a lot, okay? But if you're just trying to say people here work a lot and they should, okay? You would just say aquí se trabaja mucho. Like if you're just trying to talk about what it's like around here, like or in this neck of the woods, people work hard, okay? That's what you would be, that's the type of feeling that you're trying to evoke when using the se. Another one. Muchos creen que el mundo es redondo, okay? So this is a fun one, and it's a little current too. Many believe that the world is round. Well, okay, yes, many do. So anyways, se cree que el mundo es redondo, okay? It is believed, or one believes, or in general, people believe that, okay? Antes, la gente lo pasaba bien leyendo, all right? Which is, beforehand, people used to spend their time reading, or used to spend time well reading. So now, instead of using la gente, we just say se lo pasaba bien leyendo. All right, it's only a little bit shorter, but it just talks about in generalities, people used to do this, okay? ¿Cómo se dice legend in español? Which in this case, it translates to how do they say legend in Spanish? Now, if you're going to use the say version of that, ¿cómo se dice legend en español? You're probably used to seeing this version of it a lot more. Like if you were to ask anything in Spanish, ¿cómo se dice book en español? ¿Cómo se dice lights en español, etc. The se, dice is a really common version of the impersonal se. Anyways, lots more examples of that, and we'll just get a little bit more used to it when we practice some of them in class. And I just wanted to give you a quick introduction now. Let's do a little bit of pronunciation for new vocab. There's actually a pretty good amount of vocab this week, so I'll try not to spend too much of your time just listening to my voice, but here it is. Así es, claro que sí, como no, desde luego, eso es, estoy de acuerdo, and por supuesto. Now, I didn't give you verbal definitions of those right now because, again, those are on your book, but I could tell you right now that they all have to do with expressing agreement. They mean things like of course or why not. So like claro que sí is clearly of yes. Como no literally translates to why not, but it's used more as an of course style sentence. Eso es, that's it, or that's right. Estoy de acuerdo, I am of agreement. You're just saying agreed. All right, so again, I'm not trying to go over all of those. I just want you to understand that they all generally express agreements, okay? Qualified agreements. Some of you might understand what we mean by that, but when we're qualifying agreements, we're saying things like, I know that's the case, but, or, now many people are kind of that mindset, but you might want to think about. So that's the agreement where it's like the comma but version of agreeing with someone. So here are some of the sentence fragments that express that. Bueno, puede ser, pero, again, I'm not going to go over every one of them verbally with you, but I just want to prove a point for what these mean. Well, that could be the case, but, so you're saying, all right, I'm giving you this, but think about this other thing as well, okay? And so this is a very natural way that people debate as well. So qualifying agreement is a commonly used debate structure in English as well as Spanish. We'll go on with the rest of them. Depende en tu punto de vista. Depends on your point of view. En efecto, parece ser así. Es muy difícil de creer, pero es posible. Hasta cierto punto, sí, pero hay que tener en cuenta que, ¿tú crees? No sé. Like this very last one here I kind of like. Do you think so? I don't know. All right. That's a really common one in English too. Okay, let's go on to the next one. I know that some of you are probably wondering if there's going to be extra credit. There is this week, so keep watching. I'll explain in a moment. Here we go. Expressing disagreement. Al contrario, on the contrary. Claro que no. Clearly that's no, or just, of course not, is how that translates. Eso es muy difícil. Nada de eso. Qué tontería. Que va. And I think the one that I want to just very quickly zero in on is this one, que tontería, because a tonta can be like a joke or a prank or something like that. When you're saying que tontería, you're saying how silly or how weird, I guess is another way of putting that. Okay, last section here. Reporting what others say and think. This is like when you're trying to say, well, I heard that, or you know, some people say this, or according to so-and-so. These are the types of phrases that we're using here. Alguien me dijo que, someone told me that. Cuentan que, dicen que, el hombre, la mujer, oí que, se cree que, se dice que, según, supuestamente. I guess I'll zero in on this one. Supuestamente would translate to supposedly. And the reason I sort of pronounce that a little bit more carefully is because I have had a lot of students in the past. This is only a pet peeve of mine, so I apologize in advance. But it's not supposedly with a B. It's supposedly with a D-L-O-I. Just that's your English grammar or English spelling for Spanish class for tonight. Anyways, we'll be going over all of these in class as well. You might be interested in your extra credit real quick. So here's what I'd like you to do. If you choose to accept your mission, I would like you to please write me 5 sentences in Spanish with their English translation below each one on a note card or half sheet of paper. Note card's preferred, but we'll take the half sheet if that's all you have. I'd like you to use 2 sentences that use, or 2 sentences or groups of sentences that use this expressing qualified agreement. Specifically, I'd like you to complete this sentence fragment. So add on to this and make a point afterwards. And go ahead and use this one as well. So two of them. We're going to do this one here, complete the rest of the sentence and give me the English translation. Complete the rest of the sentence here and give me the rest of the translation. And then I would like you to do 3 more sentences using the impersonal se. Not these. You mayn't use these. So just make up your own impersonal se sentence. So 3 of those, 2 of those previous sentence structures that I was showing you, and give me the English translation as well. Get it to now. That's a little bit later. I think this is getting sent on Sunday afternoon, evening, and usually they go a little bit earlier. So I will take these an extra day later. If it's Tuesday instead of Monday, no worries. Okay. Hope that all's going well for you, and I hope this is a great chapter for us. And we use this time for light grammar to sort of solidify some of the more difficult things that we've been working on lately, like double object pronouns, se plus another object pronoun, etc. Okay. Anyways, adios, ciao, y hasta luego. I hope all goes well in the land of Spanish 3, and we'll see you all in class.